Hi and welcome back to my art journal channel. Today I'm working in my square dilutions. I'm just adding some gesso to the pages. I'm going to be working on a double page spread using a magazine, image and some die cut elements from Art by Marlene. So I'm starting off by adding some Dena collage tissue paper to the page, just using some gel medium and just an ordinary like children's paintbrush, really, not an expensive brush at all, because no matter how hard I try I can never wash the glue out of these brushes, so they do always end up a little bit crunchy. Then I am using a foodie ball pen and I'm just doing a bit of scribbly journaling on the background. I had it in my head that this was a waterproof pen, but actually it does smudge a little bit when I start adding the paint, you'll see. Don't know whether it's maybe because it wasn't dry properly, I'm not sure. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It really didn't bother me. So once I've given it a good dry, then I'm going to start using some paints on the background. And I'm going to be working in three of my favourite colours. So that's the Amsterdam Acrylic, Permanent Red Violet in Light, and a turquoise blue and a yellow, azo yellow gold. These are Amsterdam acrylic paints. They're really lovely paints to work with. These three colours blend really nicely together as well and create some beautiful other colours in the process. So then this is a new stencil from Art by Marlene, and I'm just using some white paint and adding some stenciling onto the background. I think this is from her newest range, or something like World of Marlene or World of Art by Marlene, something like that. There are some lovely stencils and stamp sets and die cut sets, all sorts of things in there as well. These really stand out nicely on this background. I really like how that looks at the minute. So this is the magazine image that I decided I was going to use, so I'm just cutting her out and she's going to go on the page. Then I was just faffing about with things, thinking what could I add onto it. Have these hearts left over from another project, and these are little die cuts that I'd got prepared. And then I thought I'd get my Art by Marlene die cut elements out and just have a play with those and see if I could come up with something a little bit quirky. So I started selecting elements from here and trying them on the page to see whether they looked okay. Really just a matter of fact of sort of just trying things out and seeing what felt right. I didn't want it to be too sensible, but I didn't want it to be too ridiculous either. So I liked that eye, I thought that worked quite well, and the mouth was working well as well. So then these lollipops worked quite well as earrings. And then I thought I'd have some funny bits, sort of donuts for something in her hair. It's starting to take shape. And then, so then, because I felt that things were getting a bit lost on the background, I've just used a bit of a white wash on the background just to tone it down a little bit. And then once it was dry, I've started just adding my elements on, and you can see they do show up a little bit better. I love these Art by Marlene die cuts. They're really great for just adding you know, really quick images into your journaling. They're all prepared, they're lovely, lovely quality, nice colours. So they're really, really great to have to hand to just add elements into your journaling. So I'm just starting to put all these in place, and it's starting to give it a really quirky feel. Then I'm just using a white gel pen and I'm just adding some doodles onto some of the collage elements, and some shadow using a pit marker pen as well. And gave the lady some pink cheeks. That's something that I often quite like to do. And then I'm just going over some of the lines on some of the images, just making them stand out a bit more. And then I'm adding a border using some black gesso. This is something that I quite often like to do. I do think it helps to, obviously, without stating the obvious, it does frame your work when you add a border. And it's just somewhere else you can do a bit more doodling or add a bit more interest if you want to. So I just found one or two more elements that I could add onto the page. Just building up the interest. And then using the white gel pen, I'm just going around and doing some almost like road markings on the border all the way round. That seems to take forever. Would probably have been quicker with a thicker nib Posca pen, but never mind. And then I'm just doing a scribbly line all the way around the edge of the border as well. So then it's time for some words on the page, just using my own handwriting today. This is a quote that fit quite well with the page that I'd just created. There is no beauty without some strangeness. And that's a very subjective thing, isn't it? What's strange to one person isn't to another. And then just a little bit of mark making. You know, I like to do these dots on the page, so I'm just adding some of those. And again, some more marks onto the collage elements. It really does help pop them out the page a little bit. You probably notice I keep pausing. It's because I quite often I'm watching something on Netflix or telly or listening to a podcast, so I'll obviously be pausing just to listen. So that's why I keep stopping. Okay, and there's the finished page. So I hope you've enjoyed this slightly quirky art journal page. Thank you very much for watching.